If your partner's struggling with shoulder issues, they have an injury maybe, or you just want to get really deep into their upper back and shoulders and just alleviate all of that pain, this massage flow is for you. We're going to be talking about all things trigger point therapy, frozen shoulder, how to really open up the muscles, and how to do this with what's called cupping therapy, which you can start to see here. I'm actually starting to place these cups. I always start with applying oil and just gently working that into the skin. And when I'm placing my cups, I actually use 2 different cups for this. So these are like the mushroom cups, where you're pressing into the middle of the cup, and like the harder you press, the more suction you get. I like to use these mainly for like the shoulders, in between the shoulder blades, which is like the rhomboid area, the traps. And then for the rest of the back and the shoulder, I like to use the flip cups, which I think they're called ionic cups, but personally, I call them flip cups because it's easy. But these just flip out like you're about to see here, and then when you go to place them on the skin, they'll just flip back to normal, and it'll pull all the muscle and the skin up into that cup. I know this is a lot of cups. You don't have to tell me. I know. I truly believe, though, like in full-blown cupping the shoulder. Like, genuinely, every time I have someone come onto my table, if I don't use this amount of cups, like, I just don't feel like I'm getting the best results. Some people may say differently, but personally, this is what I found with the thousands of people that I've worked with shoulder issues. And honestly, I would highly recommend, if this doesn't work for your partner, if you do this whole thing, go get them a CT scan, go get them an MRI, whatever you got to do to figure out what's going on with the shoulder. But I really do believe in natural medicine before surgery if you can help it. Now, the side that's actually injured for my client is the side that I'm working right now. I personally like to let the cups sit on the other side of the body while I'm warming up the tissue on this side, so I can really get into it. After the cups sit on the other side, I'm pulling them to the current side that I'm working on, and you'll see how I do it there. But right now, it really just is about warming up the muscles. I'm not going super deep. I'm just relaxing the body. If you're following along with your partner, do whatever feels natural for you. But I really like to go all up and down the body. Like, I'll hit the lower back, I'll hit the shoulder, and I'll kind of go back and forth just to get an all-encompassing warm-up, and then I'll start to do a little bit more specific work as we go on after the cupping. When we're doing any type of shoulder treatment, when we get to the stretching part where we're going to be moving the arms, you have to stay in communication with your partner or with your client. Depending on who's watching this, you have to stay in constant contact with them. Hey, does this feel okay? Is it going to be your number one question? Because some people can't move their arms. Like, genuinely, they can't move their arms above their head. That's why they're coming to, they're having shoulder issues, and we need to always have that in the front of our minds here. We're now jumping into my favorite techniques. I love to use my forearms, no matter if I'm using lighter pressure, deeper pressure. I love this back and forth technique with my forearms. I'm gently gliding across the skin, making sure to not hit the spine and not hit the scapula or the shoulder blade. You can see how continuous my flow is when I'm warming up the muscles. I'm not really taking my hands off much, and if I am, normally one hand is on the skin just to keep the contact, kind of the energy flowing as we're going through this. One of my all-time favorite ways to kind of break up that fascia and get a good amount of pressure, but like a broad pressure so it's not too deep too fast, is using this soft fist technique. Not only does it feel amazing, but you can also work over the shoulder blade with it there and really just break up any tension in the muscles that are on top of the shoulder blade there. When I'm done with that soft fist, I'm going in with a hand over hand technique just to kind of smooth everything out and fully relax it before I get started into cupping the actual injured side here. I'm using my body weight to give pressure here, so I'm not really straining my hands at all. And I'm actually going to finish this side out with a cross fiber friction technique. So this is what that means. We're taking your fingers and we are hooking them into the muscle and pulling on them in a way that they're not normally massaged. A lot of the times we're working along with the muscle and not against it. So this just means that we're working it in a different way, and it actually will break up the muscle and tissues in a different way than it would have normally before. So I like to just throw those in there into the mix of massage techniques. And before I'm moving the cups to the other side, I am actually stretching the shoulder. My client can handle this. She can handle the range of motion here on both sides actually, which is super nice. But I just like to stretch it up and down a few times, let the muscles kind of work their way in and out of the cups, which I really find interesting, and I really like it to just break up any tension before moving on to the other side. This is going to help increase your range of motion too, which I find super important. I always like to incorporate stretching into my routines if I can, if I have the time for it, and in my opinion, it just makes for a really good, well-rounded massage. I'm placing the cups on this side just like how I placed the cups on the other side, and if you noticed, I actually left that arm hanging off of the massage table. For the setup for this, you can use like a bed if you want. Have your partner lay face down. They can lay on their bed, and when you're bringing that shoulder up and over, it's kind of up and over the edge of the bed. Or you can actually do this while sitting up too. And if you guys want a tutorial on a sitting up version of this, totally let me know. But you can do this at home, you can do it on, your couch, wherever. It's really just about finding the right positioning. So notice again how I left this arm down. I'm going to start doing deep work while that other side is sitting. I first flushed it with doing some lymphatic work, so it's basically just pulling everything to that underarm, the armpit, just literally sweeping everything towards it, and then going in with a deep elbow here. Don't even come for me, because I know that I already said to not go over the scapula, but don't be going over the scapula with an elbow when the arm is back. If the arm is forward like this, you are honestly good to go. It really opens up that entire area, so you're really getting under the scapula where those muscles are. If you feel like your shoulder blade's like stuck to your body, this will help immensely with that. I'll be going both up and down with this, but I like to bring it also like down the back. It makes it feel like a flow and not like you're just working one area at a time, which I really do work one area at a time, but just incorporating like the down the back once in a while makes it feel like an overall massage instead of just being like choppy and like, okay, we're gonna work this, then this, then this, and this. It just makes it so like, yeah, we're focusing on this area, but I'm also incorporating the entire back into it. And we're back with the beloved soft fist. I like to kind of distribute the weight on my knuckles as I go down here. But if you want to get more of like a deeper, precise movement here, you can actually roll your knuckles up so you have a little bit more pressure hitting the actual knuckles themselves instead of that like soft whole entire fist there. Whenever you're working the back like this, if the muscles aren't very malleable, like they don't feel like they're kind of moving very much and everything feels super stiff, you need to be telling your partner or your client to be drinking more water. A lot of the times the muscles can actually become dehydrated, and this is a big issue, especially when trying to heal injuries and things. You need the muscles to be able to move, and it allows for an easier massage when these muscles are hydrated. I'm doing some of the same techniques we did on the other side on this side, really just to make sure everything is broken up good. And this is like my secret sauce when it comes to shoulder work, is just sliding your thumbs right underneath the scapula, but on the other side. Like, no one thinks to work that area. If it's painful for you, work a little bit more, or if it's sore, any tension, things, just keep running over that, but you'll kind of feel it. It's on the ridge there, and you just want to make sure you're going right under that bone right there to get into that tissue. This is just my favorite part, just the rocking back and forth, the stretching of this. It's an insane feeling, but it feels really good with the pressure relief of the cups. The cups that I use are from Lure Essentials. My Amazon link to them is below in the description if you want both kinds of these cups. You can't go wrong with either set. I personally just like to pair the two. But I leave these cups on anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. If I find that my client's marking up a little bit faster, maybe they're getting a little bit more purple than I'd like, I'll pull them off a little bit faster. But if they're doing pretty good, they're just a little bit red, I will leave them on for around 10 minutes. If you have actual frozen shoulder, literally there will be no blood that's coming to the surface. Like, you will not get red, you will not get purple. It'll be your normal skin color when you take these cups off, which is so crazy to me because it just shows the lack of blood circulation. It shows the stuckness that's there. And that's something that over time with these cupping treatments, you'll actually start to see the color appear over time. Like, you'll see the blood actually start to be moving. The tension will be undoing itself. You'll feel looser. You'll have more range of motion. And it's just so cool. You'll start to see the color. So I always make sure that I'm doing lymphatic drainage after these cups come off. And I'm going straight into deep work again in the upper back. But this is the injured shoulder. So I'm specifically working on these trigger points in the rhomboids. She had a lot of referral pain that came from the traps and the rhomboids. Everything I'm working in here, it went all the way down her arm. I'm talking numbness, tingling, pain. She couldn't even sit down. The pain was so bad. And within 6 weeks of doing these treatments every week, she was right back to normal. The coolest thing though is when you are working the tissue like this and you're using pretty good pressure. Like, I'm using deep pressure at this point. I've worked the muscles that are allowing me to go deeper, and she's feeling this referral pain up into her neck. She feels it into her ears. She feels it down her arms. Like, yes, it's a good pain. It's one of those like hurt so good type things, but she's like, I'm feeling it unwind, which is the coolest thing. Like, as a massage therapist, it really is the best feeling to like have your client be telling you these things. It's just so cool how the body works. But I'm telling you that everything is connected here. You might not think to actually work the back if you have a ton of headaches going on. So I highly suggest, if you're experiencing these things, to try this out. I want you to pay attention to how very specific you can get in your elbow work here. I'm doing like lines across her back in this way. I'm going straight down her back, and then I'm moving a little bit to the left, going straight down her back, going a little bit to the left, doing the same thing, just adjusting a little bit so I'm covering all of the surface area of this tissue here. By now, a lot of the oil has actually been absorbed into my arms and in her back, so there's a little bit more friction here. This is when I like to go in and do this soft fist technique because I get a little bit more traction, so it's more of like a myofascial release type massage, and you can go even slower with this to create that friction and really get that pull you're looking for. And at this point, I'm pulling the arm back, and I just do a couple relaxing glides just to really relax the muscles after moving the arms. Sometimes I find after like stretching or moving things, I kind of have to calm them back down if they're not used to massage, or if they just kind of tense up from the movement like they weren't expecting it. I'll really just kind of relax them and then jump into my next thing. I really love to get my elbows into here with that deep pressure both ways, like going up and going down, as you can see here, once that arm is pulled back, because now we're at a point where we can go really deep, we can get very specific, and we can go very slow and make a lot of change in the muscle. For the most part, at this point, everything is pretty much taken care of, and things feel a lot better for her. Like, she's not having as much pain, she's not having much referral pain when I hit these spots. But when I hit these spots, I'm hitting them slow, and I'm really just making sure. It's almost like checking your work. Like, I like to go over everything, make sure everything feels good, and kind of check in with my client, ask them how it's going, what they feel. Majority of the time, we really don't talk a bunch. If I've gotten to know them, I just kind of tell them to, like, talk to me if something's up, if something's hurting, and we kind of go from there. A lot of my clients prefer to just chill, check out. It's totally fine. But if you're just starting out, you're just trying this out for the first time, I'd highly recommend checking in a little bit more often. My favorite part is cupping over the spine, because it feels good. It's alleviating the pressure. It feels like it's aligning everything again. Again, I'm just doing simple lymphatic techniques for the lower back once I take these cups off. And once I place those top two over the spine, I'm just doing some relaxing massage for the lower back. So I'm just using soft fists here, putting all of my body weight into this. I'm really just feeling like the spine is aligning here. I want you to think about pressure relief, and especially with this move coming up here, when I'm pushing with the palms, it's going to feel like you just gained an inch here. This back and forth technique is super, super relaxing, and I really do like to bring my fingers down to the sides of the hips and kind of cup the hips as I'm doing this. It feels really good, but it's also really good for people experiencing cramps or stomach pains or even just low back tension in general. It'll kind of take care of all of it for you. And these circles that I'm doing here are just a game changer for any kind of low back tension. It'll get rid of it. So I'm ending with a scalp massage here, and we totally crack up in our session, so if you see her laughing, that's why. I'm going to remove these cups. I just scoop a finger underneath the cup and it lifts off very easily. Be careful if you're working on any men or if there's hair on the back or wherever you're cupping. Just be careful when you're lifting it off the body. Spend more time on the scalp massage here. It's out of frame, so I'm not going to go into it super in detail, but I do have videos on this on my channel. And again, I am just going in with my lymphatic sweeps. This is the last technique I'm going to show you. I really, really love to do gliding cupping. Sometimes I'll do it at the start, sometimes I'll do it at the end. I really don't have a rhyme or reason for either, but this is like my cherry on top for just breaking up all that tension, increasing your range of motion, and alleviating your pain. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you next week.